Hello, this is the Water Doctor, and today we're going to talk about brewing beer or distilling spirits. I'm not going to tell you how to brew beer, and I'm not going to tell you how to distill alcohol because that's kind of your job. Regardless of what you're doing, one common thread that runs through all this is it's made with water. Water plays a huge part in it. So here's the question I want to propound to you. What do you want in the water? You know, we know chlorine and chloramines and things like that in the water can inhibit the fermentation process. So almost everybody takes out the chlorine with some type of carbon filtration. But you know, more and more of the successful microbreweries and more of the successful distillers are now using reverse osmosis systems for making their product. And the reason is reverse osmosis removes the largest spectrum of contaminants of any water treatment process. Now, that's not the only part of the process. A microbrewery could be 2,000 gallons, 1,000 gallons a day, or maybe up to 7,000 gallons a day. And so typically what you're going to start with, if we're talking about city water, you're going to be starting with a backwashing carbon filter. Next, you're either going to use, if the water has hardness over maybe 2 to 3 grains of hardness, you're either going to have to soften the water, or my choice is to use an anti-scalant. It's NSF, an FDA approved material. It's rejected by the membrane. It prevents scaling from occurring. It makes the system highly efficient. The next step is the reverse osmosis system itself. And typically a commercial RO system may be between 500 and 7,000 gallons a day, depending upon the size batch of product that you're going to make. Here's one thing you want to remember. Let's just say you need 1,000 gallons a day. Well, you don't want to go out and buy 1,000 gallon a day reverse osmosis system. You want to get a reverse osmosis system that is going to be able to accommodate your needs. And what I mean by that is all reverse osmosis systems are rated at 77 degree Fahrenheit water. For every degree below that, you're going to lose about 2% of capacity. So if you had a 2,000 gallon a day system with 52 degree water, you're going to lose about 50%. So a 2,000 gallon a day system is only going to make 1,000 gallons a day. And you may say, well, if I need 1,000 gallons a day, then a 2,000 gallon a day system would be great. Well, would it? It produces 1,000 gallons a day if it runs 24/7. It has to run all the time to produce 1,000 gallons. That's not good. That's kind of like running your car at 120 miles an hour all the time. My idea would be if you needed 1,000 gallons a day, you may want to go with a 4,000 gallon a day system, which with your 52 degree water would really be about a 2,000 gallon a day, meaning that it would have to run about 12 hours to fill up the tank. That's more desirable. I like to see a system run from 8 to 12 hours, or maybe even less than that per day. Because if you do, the system will last 15, 20 years. If you have to run it all the time, it might only last 2 or 3 years, and you'll have a lot of maintenance problems on it. After the reverse osmosis system, after you decide the size, then you need a storage tank. And typically that storage tank may be equivalent to at least a half a day's supply. In other words, if you're using 1,000 gallons a day, you may want a 500 gallon storage tank. This tank has a float in it that when the water is called for, the reverse osmosis system is going to kick on. It's going to fill that tank up, and then the float's going to shut it off. After the tank, there's repressurization. This is an atmospheric tank, so there's a pump. It's a variable speed pump that's going to deliver what you need. And then after that, there's going to be an ultraviolet disinfection chamber that kills any bacteria that may be present in the water. Atmospheric bacteria, airborne bacteria, whatever it might be. Some people are going to ask the question, well, isn't reverse osmosis water low in minerals? Yes, it is. It is low in minerals because it removes practically everything in the water. You're dealing with pure H2O at that point. Now, some people, when they're distilling grain or they're brewing beer, they may want some level of total dissolved solids back in the water. And so what we do is at that point we have remineralization. We introduce calcium carbonate back into the water. You may want 30 parts per million, you may want 50 parts per million, 60 parts per million, whatever you want. You strip out all the contaminants, and then if you want to add hardness, calcium carbonate back to the water, you can put in the desired amount, either with a calcite filter or with an injection system that's going to inject soda ash to raise the hardness level or raise the pH level, whichever you need. You know, as I travel across the country, beer in one part of the country tastes different than beer in another part of the country, and it's usually because of the mineralization and also the contaminants in tap water. Why not take out the largest spectrum of contaminants that you can, start with pure H2O, and then you can design whatever amount of calcite or hardness you want to put back in the water. Or in some cases, many people don't put anything back in because that allows the full flavor of whatever they're brewing, whatever they're distilling, to come through. Makes an enhanced product. Your customer's experience is going to be much better with pure water. And if the experience is better, it means your cash register is going to ring better too. This is the Water Doctor. If you have any questions, give us a call. One of our certified water specialists can help you design a system that's just right for your brewery or distillery.